And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob here. I'm Honey Bob. Oh, and uh, I'm out in the deep green. I have to stretch a little bit or I'll start to rust. Conscious intent I am. Conscious intent I am. Conscious intent I am. So, where we go from here? What's going on? I was talking to a few of the usual suspects last night who were all going on about whatever they go on about. And I tap dance all over the thing. So this one guy was going on about what he always been going on for 30 years, that if only national public broadcasting could be convinced to represent the people, right? And he said about how, you know, Tucker Fredrickson called the NPR, government propaganda, right? And I said, well, he's wrong on that one, unless you specifically state that our government is a corporate oligarchy, right? Fascist corporate oligarchy. Now, if he had said that, then he'd have been right? Because you look at, um, public TV's news, and the first 10 minutes is like, and we want to thank Exxon, and we want to thank Boeing and Lockheed, and we want to thank Ford and Chrysler, and we want to thank Mercedes, and we want to thank Pfizer and Moderna, and it just goes on and on and on, and then it starts mentioning, and the Statler family for OxyContin, and just on and on and on, and then I said, want to hear a really interesting thing? And he goes, what? And I said, the reason why Tucker was theatrically fired is that he's going to run for elected office, either Senate or the presidency. And basically, I think he's going to run for president. And he will, be able, nobody wants Biden, nobody wants Donnie. And so Tucker will come out, and it'll be looking like Robin Hood, really representing the people, really telling it like it is, da da da. Because Donnie sure doesn't, and Biden sure doesn't. And Biden's like the Stepford wife, and so there you go, And when this war started in Ukraine, I said it's just a distraction. It's going to kill a lot of Ukrainians and a lot of young Russian boys, and it's going to basically, destroy what's ever left of Russia, and it's going to be turned into Disneyland, right? Because it's got a lot of resources, and there isn't going to be Third World War unless the oligarchy basically wants to have the thematic storyline to be Zardos. Have you seen that movie? It was made in the 70s, I think, and it was with the guy who played 007, and what's his name? The original 007. Whatever his name is, the Scottish boy. It'll pop into my mind. But anyway, he played in that 70s time. He played Man Who Would Be King, Time Bandits, Zardos. Don't believe anything. It's not true. Look at all the movies he made in that period. They were all pretty. So Zardos is the near dystopian future, 2001 180, something like that. And man has totally gone um, totally transhuman. And this is before anyone even knew it transhuman. And everything's being run by this little plastic cube that's AI. And if you dis AI, it makes you older. It doesn't kill you because you're going to live forever because you're really just a hologram, but it makes you older. It makes you, feel your arthritis. And most of the people who are running the show are like baking bread, and it's like, what the '70s was when people went back to the land. Like my friend Garrick, when he went from New York out to Washington, and he bought himself a farm, and he was living on the land, and then they started the rainbow gathering, and oh, wasn't it great? Um, have any of you been to a rainbow gathering recently? Babylon! And that's why on TV they had Babylon 5 because there were four before it. So, um, and so, and then he was going on how everything's, and he was basically saying that nothing changes. And I said, well, this is basically true. The power structure never changes, but the script is a large circular Mobius loop, right? And all you have to do is look from Billy Clinton, right? From, um, or even let's say Jimmy Carter. From Jimmy Carter on, we every year has been stranger and stranger and stranger, right? Ronald Reagan, um, and then George H, of the Purple Gang, and he was Curious George. Did you know that? That little monkey in the book? That was George H. His father was actually a Russian spy working for Tesla. Now, if he stole stuff, people would notice. Little boy running around being a cheeky monkey, picking stuff up, right? And the guy with the yellow hat was Prescott Bush. Always had a hat on. So, so when I go on like this with these usual suspects who are scholastics, I know what I'm talking about. And I always, basically, give them this story. Oh, you're so full of crap. Blah, 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 blah. And you have no proof. Tell me. And I'll give them some things to read. They never read them, but they will Google it and see that they're wrong and I'm right. And now I don't give a crap about who's right or wrong because it's totally subjective. Doesn't mean anything. As I was just talking to someone about, I was wishing them a happy Mother's Day, and she was going on about this woman who took care of J.P. Morgan's stuff, his books and his art, and I knew about her, and there's a book written about her, and as I told my sister that my sweetie, she's a librarian, so I kind of noticed it on her bedside table. And I kind of did my Evelyn Wood scanning thing, and yeah, saw the story. But that was only one character. There were many other people who did the same thing this woman did, but it was written in such a way um, that you could go back and see, yeah, this woman did that, right? But there were other people doing similar stuff, right? So you really have to look at more than one source. Now, that person I was talking to, I let her go on and on and on because, she too is a scholastic who needs to be right, right? Who is sore that she never got anywhere in her career, right? But she's a mother and a grandmother. And I said, you did a great job. You're a great mother, great grandmother, you'll be a great grandmother, right? And so anyway, you know, that's kind of how the story goes, right? And so, all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, even if you're a guy. Um, and look, this is what God has given us, right? And every moment we should be present, consciously aware I am, consciously aware I am, consciously aware I am. Om, I'm aware. Conscious intent I am, conscious intent I am, right? Om. Love is all there is. God is love. No matter what you call it, Vishnu, Allah Akbar, whatever name your culture gives, it's unconditional love. It's not, you read the Bible, God nowhere in there is the wrathful, terrible, mean, get up my lawn, old guy. Patient, constantly there assisting. And Jesus, who is also God, every time you hear Jesus kvetching, he's just basically talking to himself, right? And saying, boy, I screwed that up. Because whenever humanity screws it up, God is screwing it up because God made us in his image and likeness. And I'm sure it's not a him. I'm sure if we were going to give God a gender, I would say a mother, because you look in the beginning of the Bible when he's making everything, not like a guy in shop class. So anyway, I just wanted to reach out here and say, yo, and I have things to do. So, and it's still sunny. I'm going to do it before it starts to rain. But take each moment and truly thank God for it. And when you do that, it's beyond belief, right? That's what the joy of life's about. Not stuff or even relationships, because those things are just reflections of what and who and how we can give service and gratitude and humble humility to the creator of all things. Right? Keep that in your conscious awareness, right? Conscious intent to serve that humility and that love and that forgiveness. Thanks for the thumbs up, and tell people about the show. And come, and when you come on, make that's what the chat is about. So I look forward to it. Anybody wants to get a hold of me, it's the Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. The Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. Right, all lowercase, all together. The Dude Awake 42 at Gmail. I would love to hear from you. Want to show me your palm? I'll give you a reading. And otherwise, enjoy the day. I may or may not come back. I probably will. If I find another Wi-Fi, I'll jump in. Okay. I love you. Stay well.